This week in British Speedway, we will crown the British champion. And how great is it to say that in a week of Euro Championship football that the National Stadium is sold out. For once I say, at last in Speedway. Good evening and welcome to the Speedway Tavern. In the tavern tonight we have Chris, Webby, Brown.
Good evening.
Just about to take a walk.
Well, I was thinking I need to probably close the door, but it's so warm in here, isn't it? So just leave it open.
Let's leave it open.
Leave it open for a minute.
And if anybody just pops in and wants to join in,
that's
then,
about it. We'll have the ice cream now.
Yeah. We also have Matt, star of the Speedway BSPA forum, Buck.
Wouldn't go that far. Good evening.
That's not what you were saying earlier. And myself, GA. Good evening to everybody. Of course, there hasn't been much happening in the Birmingham Speedway camp over the past week, other than riders recuperating.
Yep.
So that's been fortuitous. So we've had that gap really, but stuff going on at Wolverhampton.
Big local derby on Monday.
Big local derby, and also a brand new old signing.
Sorry? We discussed this last week, didn't we?
Yeah.
About the possibility of team changes. Win against Coventry, 51-39 on Monday. Got to say, it's one of the best meetings I've seen at Monmore for some time.
What was the score again?
51-39.
It doesn't sound like a good meeting, but that's score.
Well, Coventry at one point were only two behind. They did manage to come back into the meeting quite well, and at the interval, you maybe thought Coventry could go on and win it, but Wolves were able to use that interval to sort of get, sort of steady the nerves, and then really in the last few races just hit Coventry hard to get the 3 points. Looking at the scores, Freddie Lindgren 13, Kyle Howarth 4, Sam Masters 5, Jakob Torsell, another very good home performance from Jakob, scoring 12. Eunice Kilmer-Corpy 5, Peter Carlson at reserve, 11 points, and Max Clegg 1. For Coventry, Casper Zak 5, Garrity 9, Danny King 4, Casper Werner 4 points, but did impress me. Looked didn't take him long to weigh up the Monmouth Green Track. Had a great race with Peter Carlson in his third ride. Chris Harris looked really, really quick all night, and that's going to stand him in good stead for Bellevue on Monday. He scored 13. Adam Royden 3 and James Sargent 3. But the big talking point, undoubtedly, of course, is the return of Peter Carlson. And
well, can I just say something on that? I mean, this business about Peter Carlson being at reserve against fast track riders, the league's gone mad, hasn't it?
It's something that by Dave Gordon and Chris Morton's admittance last night, it's something that they hadn't really thought about, and it's caught them out a little bit.
They should have thought about it. This annoys me because they say they hadn't thought about it. The second almost that it was announced that was what was going to happen, every fan that had an opinion was able to turn around and say, well, this is what's going to happen, and they were proven right. So if the fans can do that with perhaps less information, you would hope, it makes no sense to me that they couldn't see that straight away, that was going to be a problem.
Yeah, it's been the big talking point of the meeting. As I say, it's really, what everybody should have been talking about, the superb racing that we saw on Monday, but everyone's talking about this situation with Carlson being at reserve, which at the end of the day he's we've not replaced, but obviously had to replace Mikael Beck, who's obviously left the club to go back to Denmark because of personal issues. Obviously we wish Mikael well, and Peter Carlson's come in, who had a lower average, and it's just that Carlson's average is the sixth highest in the team. So he goes at reserve. Incidentally, I did check this out. Peter Carlson has ridden at reserve for Wolves before. The last time was on the 12th of October 1990 at Oxford, and he scored 8 points. So I checked that out on the Speedway Researcher website.
It just sometimes you have to wonder, and then you can't have Richard Hall riding in the National League because his average from 2007 was 2004 was wrong. You know, I mean, I know you've said, and I understand what you're saying, that you don't think Richard Horse should be allowed to ride in the National League because of his experience, etc., etc. And I mean, we're going over our ground here so quickly. I mean, I agree with you actually, but by the same token, that wasn't the reason given.
As I say, I mean, I agreed with the
given,
decision, but I didn't agree with the reasons for the decision. That was my...
So anyway, that's the water under the bridge. I promise you, it is water under the bridge. I won't mention it again. I promise you.
Dingle says he wants to know whether he can take the Mickey out of Cradley yet. Is it take the Mickey out of Cradley time yet?
Dingle, as far as I'm concerned,
it's never a bad time.
There isn't. Yes, it's always a good time.
Yeah,
to take. That's you go for it. Although, and they lost at. Who did they lose at? Was it Coventry? Yeah.
They lost Coventry a few weeks ago, yeah.
So, oh dear. Anyway, sorry, you was carrying on with your report from Wolverhampton.
So obviously second in the table at the moment, and things are going well.
Well, should we have a look at that Elite League table?
Yep.
We've got Lakeside at the top, probably another surprise. Wolverhampton second, Swindon third, and Poole fourth. Underneath Poole is Bellevue with only 9 matches and not many home matches, and they've got 19 matches in against Poole's 11. Are Poole in danger of not qualifying?
No, I think Poole will get there. They'll make sure whatever that.
You don't think it's Christmas? You don't believe in Christmas?
Well, at the end of the day, the top 4 teams will be the teams that deserve to be there at the end of the day. As has been said many times in the past, it's not about what you do in March, April, May. It's what you're doing in September, October. That's when it's really important.
Except you have to get there.
Of course, you've got to get there. I mean, somebody could make a late surge. I still wouldn't rule Bellevue out, even though they're not in the top 4 at the moment, because they've had such a disjointed start to the season. I think at the moment I would probably put them as the favourites. I was really impressed with them, especially at Poole a few weeks ago.
I think everybody was,
Lakeside...
And they can only get better as they dial their home.
Oh, yeah, without a doubt. And Lakeside, they're... Obviously, I've said before, I don't think Lakeside are going to lose many matches at home, but away is going to be their Achilles heel. They need to pick up some away wins as well. But that top 4, at the moment, he's looking, with the exception of Leicester, he's looking, and possibly to a lesser extent, I think, Coventry, he's looking quite open between the others.
So, I mean, you've got 28 points from 12 matches, and Lakeside above you've got 28 points from 15 matches. 4th place is 21 points from 11 matches. It is all, I mean, it's not over for Wolverhampton yet. You're not there yet, are you?
Oh, we've got a bit more to do, yeah. You can't start resting on your laurels and just thinking the job is done. We made the ultimate mistake that in 93, of course. So, yeah, there's a bit more to do.
Let it go.
Let it go. There's a little bit more to do. It would be nice to sort of pick up some more away wins as well. We've had a few so far. I think if we'd have had a full team at Kings Lynn last Thursday, I think we probably would have won the meeting. As it was, we ended up losing by 6, having been 2 down going into the last heat. So, yeah, some more away wins. Definitely keep a 100% home record, and there's every chance that Wolves will be there in the playoffs.
And then it's fingers crossed time and squeaky bottom time. As always.
That's right.
As always.
Matt, why are Cradley known as the Spoons?
Well, basically years ago they always used to finish bottom of the league in the 60s and early 70s, so they were always known by Wolves fans as the Spoons. So.
Right, okay. There you go. That sounds a dual Christmas.
I love it. I love it. We ought to mention actually, because you did mention it, that the BSPA had a forum the other night. When was it? Is it last night?
Last night, yeah.
Last night at the National Stadium and Bellevue, mainly to promote, I would guess, the British final
and the Golden Hammer.
Yes.
Thank you, Mr. Pearson.
Yeah. So, I mean, it's an interesting venture. You would hope there would be more of them, because there were questions that were allowed to be sort of twittered in. I didn't hear any questions from the floor. Was there any?
That surprised me a little bit, that they had people who'd paid money to obviously go in there and sit in the audience and then didn't take any questions from them. I didn't really understand that. It's going to be trial and error, this sort of thing. So it'd be nice if they could take it around the other tracks as well over the...
Well, quite. And obviously it would be nice, perhaps one a month would be...
I think it's availability is going to be the key thing, I suppose, for people, especially when you get to the busy time of the season. So,
and maybe, we'd like to see more representation from BSPA officials to take those hard questions on.
Well, of course, they did. Don't forget, they did do a forum earlier in the year, I think, at Rugby, which had numbers, which had obviously the two main members of the committee, obviously, in Buster Chapman and Rob Godfrey.
Okay, we're
I'm
just
sorry, it's a private conversation.
Okay.
Don't mind me.
Yeah, so, okay, first impressions for you of how do you think it went? And
I think it went okay. There's obviously, with anything that's new, it's going to take a little bit of time to sort of knock things into shape. As you say, I think it would have been nice if they'd have had a few more questions, maybe some hard-hitting questions.
A little less advertising of the fixture list, maybe.
Yeah, a little bit. But no, I thought it was good. I thought it was a good panel. I thought Dave Gordon was particularly impressive.
I did enjoy what he had to say.
It was good as well that he didn't shy away from the questions about what happened in March. He admitted that the Bellevue made mistakes. Obviously, even though that you said that they didn't build the track, but they deserved criticism for it. And I think that's really been forgiven now because they've obviously got a superb venue.
Exactly, and I think it's not so much that they've been forgiven. I think everybody's just breathed a sigh of relief because there's a feeling, I think, that this is the National Stadium, whatever you want to call it, is big for Speedway. It's something that newspapers can get their teeth into.
I'm really looking forward to Monday to watching the British final, and obviously I'll be there on Friday because Wolves are there. So,
of course. Yeah.
But Monday will be. It's a massive crowd already.
And how nice to hear that it's sold out.
Yeah, the World Cup's sold out as well. Yeah. Both the race and the final. So,
and as I said in my frontispiece, it's the European Football Championships start tomorrow.
They do, yeah.
But they've still sold out. That Speedway event, the British final. That's great, isn't it?
It's superb, absolutely superb, and they've obviously pushed it well. They've advertised it well. Manchester as a city, obviously, they are very keen to have big sporting events in that city. So
come on, Birmingham City Council. What about us having one?
That would be good, wouldn't it?
Yeah, it would be nice, wouldn't it?
Realistically, could it ever happen?
No.
Okay,
next question.
Well, there's a big rivalry with Birmingham and Manchester about the second city, isn't there? So Manchester are very keen to get that for themselves. So
well, they never will. So anyway, so talking about, we'll continue with that sort of theme about the National Stadium. Joking aside, it is good for Speedway, and Bellevue is probably the club for it to be at because it's got such a great history and so on. And so obviously we've got the World Cup, which, as you say, has been sold out as well. How brilliant would that be? Now, I'm not saying that this is going to happen, but what happened last year with was it Sweden, wasn't it, winning the thing? Mm-hmm. It's not impossible for us to win it, given that it's where it is, and you would presume that we get quite a bit of practice on the thing, which it's not cheating. Apparently, if you're Polish, it's not cheating. So why should it?
Well, this is it. So,
if we won the thing, that would surely generate press coverage and interest and so on, wouldn't it?
If it's sort of used properly, because I don't think Ty Wolfingham's World Championship win in 2013 was really utilised by British Speedway
No.
Neither was Michael Rams in 2000. I don't think Gary
Or
Haddock was
sport
in
in
92.
general. I don't think it was
No.
really.
But do you
it
get
should have been.
do you get a sense of feeling?
Most of the publicity the Tyler's got is publicity that he's got for himself rather than...
I mean, he worked hard after that first championship win, which probably cost him winning, or part of the story of costing him winning the next year, because he was just here, there, and everywhere, wasn't it? You know, but you also get a sense that some of the criticisms that he gave have been taken on board a little bit, and you've got this Paul Tech Academy and so on, and they're talking about, you know, there's a lot more British youngsters, I think, coming through.
Yeah. Of course, there's the Bellevue Academy, which isn't up and running at the moment, but obviously they're still working to get that going as well.
There are reasons to be cheerful.
There are now, yeah.
You know? I guess is what I'm saying. There's still problems within British Speedway, of course there is, but there are reasons to be cheerful, and winning the World Team Cup maybe would...
it's long overdue, isn't it? It's 27 years since we last won it.
It's ridiculous, isn't it? So anyway, we would love to hear you guys and your comments. We've got the shout box, obviously, if you're listening to us via the normal SRB radio website. You can join in on there, and we will read your comments out, and we might even agree with you. You never know.
I have to say, I agree with what Dingle's put there at the top.
The track looks too suited to European riders to offer GB too much of an
advantage. I think the Poles are going to love that track. I think the Danes will as well. And they are going to be the two favourites.
Well, maybe so, but 9 times out of 10, our riders don't ride those tracks well because they don't get the chance to go on them. They're going to get a chance to go on this, aren't they?
Yeah.
So
it would be not. I mean, obviously, it's the last few years you've seen the host nation have obviously been seeded straight to the final. It would have been probably not for the riders, but it probably would have been nice to get some sort of momentum.
So Dingle's got a lovely comment here. We should hold it at Eastbourne. That will sort the polls out. The problem, I mean, he's right, of course, but the problem is that the FIM wouldn't let it happen at a place like Eastbourne.
Well, it was at Eastbourne in 2004.
Was it?
It was, yeah.
Okay, let's hold it at Eastbourne then.
So.
Can I just add that you can also listen to us on our Facebook page, which is /Brummies, and you can also watch us, which is probably unfortunate, but
but at least we don't get to see you, Chris.
Exactly, yeah. See, the camera won't swiddle round.
Because obviously you've once again not had a shave.
Oh no, yeah. Look at you. What's the meaning of that?
I have no idea.
We need a few European-style tracks so our lads won't get slaughtered on the continent, says the special one.
I think one of the things with the Poles is it's now the Poles are better ride the smaller tracks better than they did sort of 20, 30 years ago. I mean, I think the days of Eastern European riders coming over to English tracks and practically demolishing the place trying to get round are long gone. So...
do you want some updates?
Yes, let's get some updates.
There we go. There you got Ipswich.
Ipswich. Go on then.
Glasgow Tigers 10.
Okay, and how's Nico doing on that one? Nico's won his first race. Of course, Ben Barker's first meeting for Ipswich as well. It's a big
former club. So
yeah, it's a big ex-Birmingham contingent riding for Ipswich now, isn't it?
Mm-hmm.
Danny King, Nico Cavati, and Ben Barker. So yeah.
And you got Aaron Summers, of course, as well in the
Glasgow
side.
So
I might have to just refresh this one because I think that one was a few minutes ago. But
if some of these had become our assets, we couldn't have put a great team out, couldn't we?
And we got Sheffield Tigers 26 and Newcastle Diamonds 16.
Okay, I don't think there's much in the way of Birmingham interest in that one, but Sheffield doing really, really well this year, 4th in the league. Okay, next one.
Okay, and we got Redcar versus Somerset, and I'll have to just refresh that one as well because that one's a bit...
Okay, Redcar versus, of course, Zach Vitanet.
Redcar Bears 17, Somerset Rebels 25.
Paul Starkin beating his 2 rides for Somerset there, was he?
Yeah, and Zach Vitanek having a much improved performance, got a paid win in his first race and 1 paid 2 in his second race. That's looking good for next Wednesday. So, yeah, I noticed actually, I think I might have mentioned this, that Zach came out on the track after the last meeting. He wasn't happy with his performance and they found something wrong with the bike. In fact, Andy Smith found something wrong with the bike.
Yeah, I think he told me last week.
He just revved the engine up and pulled away and he went, yeah, I know what that is. That's quite impressive, isn't it?
The very latest on the Ipswich meeting, it's Ipswich now 19, Glasgow 17.
Okay. So, well, since we've just finished on a Premier League club there, let's go through the Premier League, which I think we were saying off air, really. The Premier League is sort of the power base of Speedway at the moment, isn't it?
In terms of the BSPA committee, then, yeah.
It's going to be interesting to see what happens if Coventry, let's hope this isn't so, but if Coventry doesn't join next year.
I have a hunch that Coventry will run next year.
Okay. There have been noises to that.
Yeah, there have been noises, yeah.
So, well, we'll see. But they are, your chap up at Bellevue's name, I forgot, that you said was really impressed you.
Dave Gordon.
Dave Gordon, that's the word. He was saying that they certainly haven't ruled out an amalgamation of the leagues, and that it's something that they'll probably be talking about.
It usually happens when they've sort of run out of ideas and can't think of anything else, though.
Yeah.
When they did it in the
but it's going to be interesting to see if that happens, how that works, because the Premier League were famously trying to find a right way of
stitched
this.
up.
That's the one.
They were stitched up in the 90s,
weren't they? And they're going to be a little bit more.
I think the idea.
About it.
I think the idea last time was that the clubs that were in the old first division, as it was then, would only have one sort of top rider in their sides, but I think there were one or two promotions who didn't want that, and they just kept their top riders there, and then so many of the second tier clubs that came up, clubs like Middlesbrough and Long Eaton, just struggled because they just didn't have the riders to compete.
Premier League will be last man standing when the pack of cards of British leagues collapses, said the special one.
Well, that's
not sure I agree with that, to be honest.
No, I don't think I agree.
Because I think the Premier League's is equally as flawed as the other two leagues.
I think the stronger league is probably
the National
League at the moment. But I think I think that it would be a good thing to go down to two leagues at the moment. You're sharing more clubs out between two
and amalgamating what leagues?
It would be
National and
Elite League and Premier League.
Yeah,
because the Elite League's hardly a league, really, is it? Let's have a look at the Premier League anyway. Peterborough are currently in first place with 8 matches and 17 points. Glasgow got 8 matches and 16 points. Somerset have got 5 matches and 16 points. And in fourth place, Sheffield have got 8 points with 16 points. So 17, 16, 16, 16 for the top 4. It's one hell of a competitive league, isn't it, this year?
It is a competitive league, there's no doubt about that. It's a league that any one of the top sort of 8 or 9 clubs could...
well, you look to go down to 8, and that's Newcastle. They've got 11 points, but they've only got 5 matches.
You fear for clubs like Redcar and Scunthorpe, I think, because they're really struggling at the moment, especially Scunthorpe.
Yeah.
And Redcar have struggled for a number of years now, so...
They have. Ipswich at 11th.
Ipswich, they always seem to look impressive, don't they, at the start of the season, but it never happens. Yeah. And this is a club that's still got aspirations of going back into the Elite League at some point.
And you look at their team, they've got Danny King, who's got to be a proper number one at that level. Yeah. Nico Cavati, who again, could easily hold down a number one position in some Premier League clubs. What a top 2 for a start off. But
I just wish, I think that was one of the questions that was asked last night about the draft system, and Dave Gordon and Chris Morton both said it's a real disappointment that the Premier League didn't buy into that as well as the Elite League.
I think we all said that at the time, didn't we? But they didn't, so
it's up to them, I suppose.
Okay, well, we're going to travel around the clubs a little bit, and we will look at the National League table, don't worry. And we'll talk about Birmingham's upcoming fixture list. We've got 7 matches, I think, in 3 weeks.
Yeah,
it's quite a busy period. fingers crossed for no injuries. I've had enough of that already this year. Okay, so stuff going on at Leicester. I'll read this out to you. Owner David Hemsley will appeal after he was ordered to pay more than £9,000 and hit with a 12-month suspension following an incident during an elite league clash with Kings Lynn. Helmsley was charged by the SCB for 7 breaches of the sports regulations after he made, in quotation marks, unauthorised visits to the referee's office during the meeting at Beaumont Park. It came after the referee accidentally turned off the floodlights as 4 riders were at the tapes for Heat 13. Are you all right there?
Chucked me beer then.
Hemsley was accused of 2 counts of ungentlemanly conduct, 2 counts of fraudulent comments, 2 counts of acts of violent, threatening and abusive behaviour, and 1 count of acts prejudicial to the interests of the sport. It's a lot, isn't it?
A naughty boy by the sound of it,
isn't it? At the disciplinary hearing on May the 31st, Hemsley was fined £7,500 on top of an earlier fine of £300, as well as being ordered to pay the £1,380 cost of the hearing.
Yeah.
The SCB announced the decision in a statement this week, and Hemsley told the Mercury he will appeal on a number of grounds, including the huge fine. It is a lot, isn't it?
It's a lot of money.
And a 12-month ban as well. Wow. I feel the press release misrepresented me and is not an accurate statement of fact, he said. I hold my hands up to the threatening and abusive language, but there were reasons behind why that was the case. But I am not a liar. The fine also needs to reflect the actual allegations that can be substantiated. Hemsley insisted the decision would have no impact on the future of the club, even if the fine is not reduced on appeal. The money will be found one way or another, but we will be appealing the level of the fine, he said. Whatever it is, it will be paid and will have no impact on the future of the club. Hemsley has been suspended from any non-public area of licensed Speedway venues since April 26, but will face a further 12-month ban once the fines and costs have been paid. Hemsley resigned as senior promoter last month, and the SCB said they will not sanction the appointment or licensing of a new promoter until the fines have been paid. However, the club's co-promoter David Marcy and Neil Machin are both licensed to stage meetings, so it is understood to be business as usual for Lions' next fixture at home to Bellevue. The SCB statement said Hemsley was not present at the hearing, but Hemsley said he had notified them 3 weeks in advance that he would be unable to attend and had given them 3 alternate options when he was available. So, comments, gentlemen?
Well, it just seems to be all going from bad to worse, doesn't it, for both for Dave Hemsley and for Leicester.
Yeah.
You know, it's obviously known that he resigned from his position a few weeks ago. I think really, probably in a lot of senses, as long as Leicester can keep going in his absence, probably a parting of the ways is maybe the best interest for all parties. I think Dave Hemsley's got a reputation for being, you know, not the easiest person to deal with. There's been there's been a big turnover in the track staff there in the time that they've been running since 2011, and I mean, obviously this is a guy who wears his heart on his sleeve. He's obviously been successful. You know, he obviously rode cycle speeder for a long time and won 3 world championships. So he's been successful in a lot of other walks of life. Maybe not programmed to be such disappointing speed that you're having.
Do you think he realises you can't walk into the referee's box and hurl abuse at the referee by now?
Yeah, I don't know whether he did it in cycle speed,
I mean, having said that, I mean, we laugh about it. It is a hefty fine, isn't it? I can't ever remember a fine of that nature being handed out before, so it must have been pretty bad.
Just like I said before, we don't know what went on in that room. We don't know what was said.
No. Or what was done, or we don't know anything.
I don't think we've ever known it. I don't think that's probably as steep a fine as I've seen. Michael Lee's fined years ago for riding around the track the wrong way was fairly hefty as well, wasn't it? Something along those lines.
Yes, yeah.
Was there a reason for him riding
allegedly riding around the wrong way. So
oh right, okay.
I don't know whether it happened actually. So
we can't answer that one. Maybe somebody out there can.
He's always been very adamant that he didn't do it. So
Dingle says, "Good old Hemsley. Would be better for him to field a decent team, though."
I think the big problem at Leicester is their race night.
It is absolutely.
Saturday nights in the Elite League are just a no-go, unfortunately.
You have to wonder why they don't bite the bullet and change the race night, because they can.
Well, that's right. I mean, obviously, I guess the only other night they'd really want to run is Fridays, but of course that means running against Coventry. So,
which maybe wouldn't be too bad. At least you get decent. You get a chance to get some decent riders. That's the problem, isn't it? They can't get the riders to because all the decent riders are riding on the continent and in GPs.
I thought you said the decent riders are riding at Coventry then. So I wouldn't go to Leicester and say that.
Hey, I wouldn't go to Coventry and say that. Not at the moment, anyway. No. What can I say? But they do need to sort themselves out, don't they? They've got sort of a triple whammy. They need a better track, better riders, and a better night.
I mean, everything at Leicester was so just a child. Everything at Leicester was just so geared up for it to be fantastic. You know, they had a great.
Why don't we all just stop and let Chris
It is
open
live. It is live. Yeah, I tried to do it really quietly,
and you failed miserably.
Sorry, now.
Sorry, Matt.
Leicester, everything was set up for Leicester to be such a great venture, wasn't it? You know, that land which they could have built the track any sort of shape. Unfortunately, they've ended up with a really disappointing track. They've obviously made changes to it. It's not really improved it that much. I didn't see much evidence of it when I.
They have been taught that it is better.
It's a little bit better, but not.
Maybe it's wishful thinking.
Yeah, it was a little bit better, but that's really just about it.
Welcome, right. Mr. Stan. Bonjour.
Monsieur
Stan. Bonjour. Comment ça va?
Okay, so let's see, what else have we got here? I think it's great news for Zach Vitanek. It's been confirmed as a wild card for the opening round of the World Under-21 final at Kings Lynn on June the 18th. That'll be good experience for him. The Somerset and Birmingham youngster joins full-time competitors Adam Ellis, Josh Bates and Robert Lambert, meaning Great Britain will provide a quarter of the field at the Adrian Flux Arena. Vitanek said, even though this will probably be the toughest Speedway meeting that I will have competed in, it will be great experience for me and one that I intend to enjoy and learn from, as I would like to be competing at this level on a regular basis in the future. Yeah, I mean,
it's good. It's good for Zach. He's. I've seen one or two comments on the BSF from some people saying that he's been disappointing this season, which I think is a little bit unfair, because he set such a high standard last season, and he's, you got to remember, he's still only young, so he's
still number one. Reserves, the new averages have come out, and he's still holding that number one position. He perhaps may have been disappointing for some people at Premier League level, but I think we sort of said last year that
I don't think he's
not quite there. But he's showing signs actually of improvement, and I think he has had a few issues with his machinery. The thing about Zach Vitanek is he learns quick.
Yeah, he's a very quick learner.
He'll get it right. Talking about Zach, let's see how he's doing on in his match and look at the other matches as well.
Okay, I'll need to just refresh that one. So it was Ipswich 19, Glasgow 17. It's now 21.
Ipswich trying to snatch defeat from the jaws of victory once again. Nico Cavatis had a 3 and 1 paid 2. Danny King's had a 1 and a 1 point and a win. And Ben Barker's scored 5 points from 2 rides, so not a bad start for Ben.
Not a bad start for Ben Barker. Yeah.
It's his sort of track, I think, because he spent so much time at Plymouth, and Ipswich is a similar sort of track, I guess. Sheffield versus.
Last time we looked, it was 26-16. It is now 26-21.
See, Newcastle have pulled back a bit, haven't they? Robert Lambert on a maximum for them at the moment. Yeah.
Good of a major say on Monday, I think, Robert Lambert.
Mm.
He's starting to...
Well, actually, you know what we haven't done? We each made predictions of what we think is going to happen, so we'll come to that in a minute.
Okay, just come up to red card, just refresh it. There you go. Red card there's 27, Somerset Rebels 30.
So red card have pulled up a little bit on Somerset. Paul Stark still on a maximum, and Zach got a 0 in his third ride. But paid 4 at points. Paid 5 points wouldn't be a bad return for him actually. So yeah, okay. Okay, gentlemen, before we came on air, I asked you all, I can't find mine now, I asked you all to write down your 1, 2 and 3 prediction
okay.
For the British final.
Don't come to me first, please.
I beg your pardon?
Don't come to me first.
So, Chris, you first.
I said don't come to me first. No, don't come to me first.
Matt?
Go on.
Well, I did make my prediction, but I've changed my mind now. So
come to me first.
I did go for Craig Cook initially, but I'm not so sure. I know it's his home track. He probably should have won it last season at Monmouth.
I agree.
He hasn't sort of really had a brilliant season so far. He's not done that many matches, to be honest. So I can't really decide. I think.
Come on.
I'd fancy him or Bomber to win it.
So,
to be honest, I think Robert Lambert will be there or thereabouts. But
so give us your 1, 2. Come on, stop this prevaricating, isn't it?
I'll go for Bomber.
So Chris at 1.
Yep. Craig Cook at 2, and Robert Lambert 3rd. Should we do 4th as well? Because it's going to be a final.
Go on then. I haven't got a 4th, but go on then. I'll think of one in a moment. I'd have already.
I'll go for Scott Nichols 4th.
Okay. So you and me have gone for the same riders pretty much, but not in the same order.
No, well, I've gone Danny King Lambert, and I've gone Cook.
King, Lambert, and Cook.
Danny King to win it.
Yeah. Is that not there?
On a Bellevue, on a big.
Is that not there? Things happen, don't they, in Speedway?
Yeah, and what have you got as number 4?
You never know.
I haven't got anything as number 4, so I'll go for Ben.
Ben Barker.
Yeah.
I'll have some of what he's drinking.
Yeah.
I've gone for Scott Nichols because I think he's having a really good season.
He's having a good season, to be fair.
Yeah, Robert Lambert, Chris Harris, and Craig Cook.
I mean, he'll be at Cardiff anyway because he'll be in the studio. So it's, obviously, it might well be that he's in the studio then having to run around.
I think he fancies another go.
Yeah, I think he would like to have one more go at Cardiff before he finishes.
Yeah, because he's riding really well this year, and possibly on a. Do you think he might retire if they win the league?
No, I think he'll go for it.
I
think he'll have another couple of years. I don't think he'll drop to the Premier League because I think he's got a bit too much pride to do that. But I think he's got at least another 2-3 years in him.
The Premier League and the Elite League might be one league next year anyway. So
I don't think it will be, to be honest.
Well, it's got all French in the chat box, so I haven't got a clue what's going on. But
this is probably because of the European Championship, I imagine.
Dingle's up for Craig Cook.
Oh, come on! We'll we'll write these down and we'll see. We'll come back next week, and we'll.
Predictions, please, gentlemen.
Let's get. Yeah,
that's what I went for initially, but.
So Dingle, give you one your top 4, please.
I've done French again, haven't I? So, okay. Yeah, and don't forget on our Facebook page as well if you want to predict.
Yeah, shove your predictions up. There's nothing to win.
No.
In true Speedway style.
Yeah.
So, there we go. But it's a bit of fun. So okay.
I got the old Locker Cup out of the back. It's not being used anymore. So.
Let's talk about Birmingham's next match. It's very difficult to give predictions given that we don't actually know what the team is until probably the day before.
Yeah.
Because obviously Tom Perry's injured and Tom Bacon's injured. Hopefully, whoever we decide as a guest for...
is there any chance of either of them being back for next Wednesday?
No.
No, okay.
I don't think so. I think that I've got some news on Tom Bacon actually, which I'll read. But I think Tom Perry, it's been said that he's targeting the Kent match to be back for, which would be the week after. I think we'll put the fixture list up again. In
Probably argue that's maybe the more important meeting.
Well,
I think Kings Inn will be a fairly routine win anyway. So.
I think it should be, given that we slaughtered them on their track. I would like to see a much more improved showing from Zach. That's where I would like to see. I think we'll probably get it.
Yeah.
Not that I don't mean that as any criticism for the lad at all. I don't know. I think he's done at least as good as could be expected. I think he's kept himself at number one. That's in this team. That's no mean feat. But I would like to see a little bit more from him, for his confidence as much as anything else. Particularly going into the Kent match, which is going to be a tough match for him at number one, given who he's up against. I'd also like to see an improved confidence. Well, I mean, this goes for everybody, but Daniel Hume is such an important focal point from the team, because where he rides. If he is at number two, which he probably won't be if we have rider replacement, but even so, where he rides and where he's going to be positioned in the team is usually where we make big gains on the other team. Reserves as well, but so those reserves and Daniel Hume are quite pivotal to us winning meetings, I think.
Yeah, I think so. It's I think with the uncertainty over the last few weeks, it would be good for Birmingham to sort of get a good big win again to sort of boost the confidence back. Obviously, I wasn't at the Eastbourne meeting, but by all accounts, Eastbourne probably should have won it.
I think they should go back with their heads between their legs, or the tail between their legs. Probably not their heads.
Yeah,
because they should have won that meeting, and they contrived through various things not to. Actually. Yes.
A couple of questions. Dingle's gone for Cook, Nichols, Harris, Lambert. I'm guessing in that order.
Okay, we'll have to write these down afterwards.
Okay.
Cook, Nichols, Harris, Lambert.
This is an interesting one. How many French people are there in British Speedway? Are there in it?
Adam Ellis, sort of. He was born in France.
Is it prevalent in France, Speedway?
There is Speedway in France. I don't know how big it is.
Not
but there
very
is
big,
Speedway.
to be honest.
Okay.
There is a French rider doing the rounds, isn't there? I can't remember his name now. He broke his arm when he was...
Berge, is it? I know his dad, Philippe Berge, rode in the late 90s.
He broke his arm at the Perry Bar in 2007 or 2008. I can't remember his name now. It'll come to me.
Interesting question.
It'll come to me.
Carry on.
So, okay. Yeah, there was a bit of a spat between Darryl Richards and Ellis Perks in the Eastbourne match.
Yes.
Oh, spat.
A spat, yes. Not spat the dog.
That's his brother.
Yeah. Darryl Richards has put the record straight over, because there's been a lot of criticism about Darryl on this. Very little criticism of Ellis Perks, which is surprising to me, because I think it was a sort of 6 or 1.5 dozen of the other sort of thing. However, it was instigated by certain manoeuvrings of Ellis Perks.
Yeah.
So anyway, this is what Darryl Richards has to say about it. Darryl Richards has put the record straight over his public spat with rival racer Ellis Perks. The Sure-Stop Brummies racer was involved in an incident with Perks during last week's Perry Bar clash. He's been slammed by some supporters on social media for his response to a move which he thought was unfair and could have caused serious injury. He squeezed my front wheel right up against the fence, and I saw this as a very dangerous move, said Richings. I was far from happy for a number of reasons. Firstly, before the start of the meeting, all the riders stood as one as we remembered Polish rider Christian Rempala, who sadly died following a track crash just a few weeks ago. Secondly, I've been involved in some very bad crashes myself, one in particular which left me with very severe injuries. As Speedway riders, we expect tough riding from time to time, but sometimes the line is crossed. I was wound up and very frustrated, and I just wanted to point out that I felt what he did was dangerous. On reflection, maybe I shouldn't have ridden so close to the side of him after the race, but he certainly shouldn't have responded with specific hand gestures.
Yeah.
Which he did, quite a lot through that meeting, actually. It hurt me to see a few people accusing me of swearing in front of children. I am a dad of one with another on the way, and this is something I wouldn't dream of doing, as that is not acceptable. I just wanted to clear things up, and now we start getting ready for an important month coming up for the team. So, there you go.
Matrazario was the French rider, by the way.
Yes,
Dingle's taking the credit for that, not me.
Okay, what was
that?
Matrazario, that was the one. Yeah,
thanks, Dingle.
And Dingle says something not very nice about Ellis Perks.
And ELO says, do you have to be as mad as a box of frogs to be a Speedway rider? And I've replied, yes.
Yep.
Yes, I actually asked that question of Joseph, who I hope is listening tonight. He's not with us tonight. He's been a little bit poorly. I actually asked that very question, and Joseph said, "Do you think you'd ever want to be a Speedway rider?" His answer was, "No, I've got a brain." So he loves his Speedway. He loves his Speedway, but yeah. So talking about injuries. Tom Bacon, though, he was looked set to be out for around 8 weeks with his metatarsal. 2 metatarsals broken. Injured Birmingham star Tom Bacon insists he wants to be fit for the National Trophy Grand Final against Kent.
Yeah.
The 23-year-old suffered 2 broken metatarsals in his right foot in the home clash against Rye House on May the 25th and looks set to be out for around 8 weeks. However, after working closely with club physio Steve Williams, Bacon is targeting a return in less than half of that timescale, but insists he will make a decision with the best interests of the team at heart. Kent at home on June 26 is when I ideally want to make my comeback, Bacon said. When you're a Speedway rider, the last thing you want to be doing is watching everyone else going out on the track. The National Trophy is a great chance for us to get more silverware for the club, and I'd love to be a part of that. Having said that, I will make a decision that puts the team first, as I wouldn't want to let anyone down, because everyone has been so brilliant. I wouldn't want to declare myself fit if I didn't think I was up to going out and winning.
Yeah.
I think the thing about that is we don't want him coming back if he's not fit. That's the first thing. I don't want him turning
back.
not particularly not in that meeting, because we can cover him quite adequate with rider replacement because it's the reserves, and then we can.
I think the Kent meeting is the one, to be honest, which is no disrespect to the young stars, but Kent is probably the bigger meeting because the silverware rider.
Well, it is because it's also, if we can contrive a win in that, it's putting a hell of a marker down for the league and for the final in the league, isn't it? And,
without doubt.
You know, that's so. You know, people might say that it's a Mickey Mouse trophy. This is important. I mean, it's a trophy for a start-up. It's silverware for a start-up, but it's putting down that marker to who the team who you would think is probably we're going to probably meet in the final if we get to the final. Eastbourne might have something to say about that. Maybe my hopeful scenario is that we win the league so that we can put Kent up against Eastbourne and Kent can knock Eastbourne out. That was what I would like to see happen, but you know,
and beat Cradley in the semi-final.
Yeah, well, I think it'd be Bellevue, to be honest. I'm not sure it's going to be Cradley.
No, I still think Cradley will just get there.
No, we shall see. We shall see. So that would be brilliant. But don't come back too soon, because you know Tom Perry is also targeting a comeback on that day. That's a bit. You know that they can come back from collarbones quite well and quite quickly, but I don't know about the metatarsals, and is it his left foot as well? I think, isn't it? Which is the one that takes that you put plant on the thing. So I don't know. Just make sure you're ready, guys. Make sure you're ready. Yeah, that's it. So we reckon. Actually, let's put the fixture list up. We need to have a look at that because we've got.
What excuse should I give work if we take a decent lead down to Kent?
I don't know, but whatever you give, can I borrow it as well?
It's a long hallway.
It is. It is.
Yeah, good stuff.
Yeah.
Right, okay, I'll get the fixture up while you're paddling. I haven't got it ready. Sorry.
Okay, well, we'll just twiddle. So while you're getting that up, shall we have a look at...
I'll tell you what, that's what, I've refreshed these, so these
Okay.
are spot on.
So
It's still 21-21.
Ipswich 21-21. Oh, there must be a heat.
So I don't know what's going on there.
Heat 10 maybe.
Let's go.
Sheffield 29, Newcastle 24, and Redcar 30, Somerset 33. Could Somerset win the Premier League this year? You're looking at
the league.
I mean, they're third place, 16 points, but only with 5 matches.
I think he'd be a fool to write Somerset off because they've got such a good record in that league.
Yeah.
I think Glasgow myself. Look there.
Well, Glasgow are in second place,
Yeah.
but with 16 points, but 8 matches. But it's all down to that It's down to that final, isn't it?
Yeah,
the
that's
thing.
right. Yeah,
And, so okay, we have the fixture lists up anyway. So we've got Kent next Wednesday. Then we have a rather important match the Wednesday after, which is the National Trophy final. Can we win that? He's thinking hard. He's thinking hard, and he doesn't want to say
I don't
no.
like him when he thinks.
He doesn't want to say no. That's
you clear the
the
cogs
trouble.
moving, don't you? I think Birmingham will win on the night. Whether they'll win by enough to take it down there is another matter. Because I think Birmingham are going to need 10, 12 points at
Okay,
least.
and of course, we drew them last time we was at ours.
Defend there, so
But I don't think we performed. We need to get the track right.
yeah, of course.
It was pretty good against Eastbourne, actually.
And Ian on Facebook says, "Get down to Kent, you wussies." Probably, obviously aiming at you, obviously.
Obviously,
yeah.
because you're not going to go anywhere.
No.
Following those 2 meetings, we then go to Sunday the 26th, 4 days. That's right, it's 4 days afterwards, isn't it? We're at Coventry, another great... I've got to go. I shall definitely be at that one. And then on the Monday, it's a Monday. That's a terrible day for me to have to go that distance. We're at Kent for the second leg of the National Trophy final, and then 2 days after that we entertain Mildenhall. And just to complete it, in July, the first match in July is on the 2nd of July, where we go to Eastbourne, and I can promise you I'm not going to that one. So there you go. And then we got the Knockout Cup.
Yeah.
So
We've also got a GP this weekend as well. So the third round in
have we
horses.
I hadn't really. Well, that sort of makes you wonder whether that played a little part in Ty Woffington's decision not to take part in the British final.
No, I don't think it was that. I think the last round was sort of sandwiched right between the two semi-finals. So I think there was... I think, to be honest, I think if Ty could have ridden in that, if it had been easy for him with the logistics, I think he probably would have wanted to. I think it was reluctance that he gave it up, to be honest.
Okay, we've been accused of not keeping up the post, so I'm going to do a quick catch-up.
Okay.
Dingle, the Kent match-up favours Kent, showing that. Fast-moving posts, keep up Sports Radio. I blame the guy on the dials, obviously me. Kent will probably win. Let's have a vote of no confidence in him, like Brexit. Obviously aimed at me. The National League and many of its promoters want Birmingham to fail, said Stan.
Well, that's certainly an opinion. I'd love to know... Okay, obviously, in a way, yeah, many of them do want Birmingham to fail because they want to be the ones to win, but I don't think that's what he means, so I'd like to know where you got that information from, to be honest. I'd like to substantiate it. I'm not saying it's wrong because I've had the information of my own, but
why would they want them? Why would the National League and the Browners want Birmingham to fail?
I'll tell you off air.
No, tell me now.
They don't like us.
Oh right, okay, that's all you got to
It's
say.
fairly simple as that. I missed the first part of the show. Was the kids' night a success versus Eastbourne? Well, we did that last week, of course, Stan, but was it a success? There were more kids there, let's put it that way, but I would have hoped for more. But I think, excuse me, we'd had a bit of rain during the day.
Yeah.
Didn't help. It was a bit chillier.
Was this the under-16s free?
Mm-hmm,
Yeah.
and also I think other people disagree with me on this, but I think that the thing that happened with Richard Hall, not being allowed to sign him and so on, I think that made people go, "Oh, what's the point?" So I think there was a little bit of that. The point was it was a tremendous meeting, but with lots and lots of incident like in the old days. So. Yeah, there you go.
ELO, who knows slightly, just a bit less than what I do about Speedway, says, why don't they like us?
I don't know, because we're so lovable. The trouble is, we came into this league and won it, and look like we're going to win it again, and it puts people... I don't know whether that's got anything to do with it. Yeah. Certainly Cradley don't like us, because they used to be the National League's pool.
Yeah.
We've put their nose out of joint a little bit on that one, I think. When you hear some of the comments that certain promoters have said on Twitter about, when we tried to sign Richard Hall, I see Birmingham's youth policy has gone out the window. Yeah, we've got the youngest. We've got the youngest. We've got the youngest team in the league.
Oops, sorry.
Hello, I've got drunk.
You were quick to get in there as well. I noticed.
Yeah.
On Facebook.
Well, it's true though, isn't it?
Yeah.
I mean, that just sounds and feels like sour grapes, doesn't it?
Just a little bit, yeah. So.
It's because our promotion complain when others steal our riders. Says
I think that might. Well, see, there you go. I think that has got a lot to do with it. I think this business about the assets, we haven't seen the end of it yet, and I think we are making. I don't think we're the only ones that are making, but we're probably head of the queue, shall we say? I'm guessing here a little bit. I've got some information, but I don't know. But I do know that things that we haven't heard the last of that. I've no idea whether it's going to go our way or not, but I don't think we've heard the last of it just yet. That's what I'm hearing.
It doesn't bother Cradley as they are just the Wolf Cubs, really, and they know
it's
it.
Nice to say that. Yeah, I bet you love that, don't you, Matt?
Oh, yes.
Well, they were Birmingham's second team. That's how they started. They were Birmingham's second team, and that they've found their rightful place. I'm sorry.
I think we've hit a nerve right at the end of the programme, haven't we? At least our promotion isn't banned from Perry Bar, unlike the Twitter Windjam.
Couldn't possibly comment on that, I'm afraid.
Southern Track Mafia, says Ian Falls on Facebook.
Southern Track Mafia, okay. I don't think the person that we're talking about has any Southern Tracks, does it?
No, he might be referring to an earlier comment.
Maybe.
So, can the promotion be better in our PR regarding meetings, regarding advertising?
Well,
I think every club could say that.
Well, yeah. I mean,
you can improve
what do you think
on
looking
every
outside in? I think we do.
I think the players aren't right for Birmingham, to be honest. I think that with some clubs a bit sloppy and a bit not very good, but I think some clubs are working at it, and it is improving. So.
I mean, we're on Twitter regularly, and there's a Twitter feed on the home page.
Plenty of extra orders coming onto Twitter,
and actually talking about that, in this day and age, it's up to everybody actually to be promoting, because social media is the best, the cheapest, the most effective place to advertise anything. But that only works if we do our part, and it's simple, isn't it? You retweet.
It's also
as simple as that, and then everybody that you've got connected to you sees it, and then they retweet it.
It's a fantastic
it's just
media
so
really powerful tool.
We need to be, as fans, we need to be signing up for that. If you haven't got a Twitter account, then get yourself one. And then you just start following loads and loads of people, other Speedway people who are following, just as many as people, things that you're interested in. And then when you retweet, they get your retweet, and it's just free advertising.
It goes round.
It's nothing on commercial radio, aren't we? Well, I suppose Radio WM isn't commercial radio, but it's on. But by the same token, it's probably the most listened to radio station in the West Midlands, and they're always promoting us.
Interesting, isn't it? Just thinking as well, Hans Nielsen, ex-Birmingham rider, back in Speedway, new Danish team manager.
Yes, I heard about. Yeah.
So,
really?
Yeah, he's become the new Danish team manager.
Fantastic.
Is he not sharing that with Eric Gunderson somewhere?
Well, Eric's
otherwise?
still involved with the youth policy in Denmark. A little bit surprised actually, because Hans has been out of Speedway for a long time now. He's not been connected with it really since he retired. So,
but when you read the interview with him, he said it was something he always wanted to do. But
Yeah.
he was bringing his children up, wasn't he? And
Yeah.
they're both professional
Now,
golfers,
so
he was doing that. But well, it'll be interesting to see how that goes. He's certainly a big hero for the Danes.
no, he's probably the best Danish. I don't think they doubt he's the best Danish rider of all time. So I mean, he's 4 world championships. That's and is it 22 major honours?
Something
like that. Yeah, it's incredible.
Yeah,
So.
Don't think anybody's going to come close to that.
Even probably only Major's got more. So
Anyway,
And if we run for any longer, there'll be a lot of bacon jokes, Danish jokes and all that, but we haven't got no time, have we?
yeah.
thank God for that.
Yeah, okay.
And also, somebody did mention about the Great Bar Observer, which does a great job for us, and Ryan Guest does a great job for publishing us in that one. So
I've got to admit, the Mail has gone quiet regarding
Speedway,
advertisements, hasn't it? There was a stage a couple of seasons ago. There was quite a lot of advertising and flyers and things.
But I don't think the Mail is. Does anybody read the advertisements in the Mails? Only the Lonely Hearts, I think.
I don't
Speak
even.
for yourself.
I wasn't told that only the Lonely Hearts read it. Is what I meant. Was what I meant. Not.
Oh, well, there's loads in the Mail apparently, almost daily. So
No, because that's on the sports page. It's not advertising, but that is the best advertising, isn't it? An article about, we're doing really well. This has happened, and we're doing it. That is the best advertising.
And
anyway.
Ian points out in Poland, as soon as one meeting has gone, they are advertising the next one straight away. He says on our Facebook page. It's good.
Well, they do on. I don't know on the Facebook or the Twitter, but they advertise it's straight on the site, isn't it?
Yeah,
The next
quick off the
meeting.
mark, aren't they? So
Yeah, it is, but again, things can always be done better. Things can always be done better. Unlike this show, of course.
Which has gone over.
Yes, once again. Okay, well, looking forward to hearing you all next week. We might have some news, we might not. We watch this space. And everybody take care and enjoy the British final, however you're watching it. Take care.
Yep.